Sagittarius, what's going on? I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. My name is Mel and welcome to my channel, Divine Feminine Works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, Sagittarius, this is your tarot reading for September 2020. I hope that this video does indeed find you well, that you guys are healthy and safe out there. I'm hoping that, things are really crazy. Let's just keep it real. Things are really crazy out there. There's a lot going on, and I really hope that you guys aren't experiencing the same sort of craziness in your personal lives. Speaking of personal lives, I wanted to, before we get into the tarot reading, I wanted to get into a quick astro forecast so you know what's going on astrologically speaking for September, particularly for you, Sagittarius, and how you can deal with the energies that are coming up. All right, so let's get into it. There are three things going on in the month of September that are pretty important. So the first one is Mars going retrograde in the sign of Aries, and that is happening on September 9th. Well, that happened on September 9th because I'm filming this on September 10th. Then we've got Jupiter going direct in the sign of Capricorn, which is happening on September 12th. And we've got Saturn, finally, also going direct in the sign of Capricorn on September 29th. So with all of these planets having these changes, these shifts, you can definitely expect to have and feel these shifts in your life. Not in a real crazy sort of way, but there's definitely going to be some changes, some ups and downs. But again, nothing too crazy. So let's get into Mars first. Mars first entered the sign of Aries back in June. And Mars is at home in Aries. Aries is Mars's home sign. Home placement. So Mars is super comfortable. Therefore, with Mars being super comfortable, its energy is super potent. In Greek mythology, Aries is the god of war, and that's exactly the kind of energy that Mars exudes. Mars, it's marked by conflict. Mars is all about endurance, stamina, physical activity, arguments, actual fights, like physical fights, vitality, like turbocharged energy, being headstrong, being stubborn even to a certain extent, being selfish. Those are all things that are characteristic of Mars energy. And so once it entered Aries back in June, it was at home, it was comfortable, so it was like moving ahead, full force, full steam ahead. So now Mars is going to be going retrograde. And what does that mean? So when a planet goes retrograde, it slows down. And from our vantage point here on Earth, it looks like it's almost moving. It looks like it's moving backwards. That's exactly what retrograde means. Energetically speaking, the energy that the planet usually and normally exhibits is lessened. So it doesn't have its full energy. It's weakened and debilitated. So debilitated Mars is like really cranky. Debilitated Mars is lethargic, it's sluggish, it's not as ambitious, it's not as headstrong, it's aggy, it's irritated and frustrated. So this is the energy that we're going to be working with from now until November 13th when Mars turns back direct. So how does that affect you? So Sagittarius, Mars is in your 5th house. Aries is your 5th house of self-expression, of creativity, and of children. So when Mars first went into the sign of Aries back in June, I feel like you probably experienced this surge of energy to create things, to make yourself stand out. Above all else, you felt like your romantic needs and your need to have fun and do things that you actually like took precedence over everything else. Mars is also very competitive. So for those of you who are in a competitive field, I feel like you got really competitive and maybe almost even nasty with it, to be honest. Mars rules sports and physical activity, and the 5th house is where pertains to sports and whatnot. So maybe sports plays a big part in your life. Maybe you've been playing more sports or just having more, your physical activity has consisted of sports lately. You may have been noticing that you've had a lot of conflicts with children, your children or other children, I don't know. Yeah, you may have been having conflicts with children. You may have been having conflicts with lovers. The fifth house is all about romance. It's about flirting. It's about fling. So if you've been out there on the scene, dating and all of that, that Mars energy may have found you getting into quarrels, getting into arguments with lovers and, people that you're dating. So now that that energy is going to be weakened and debilitated, it doesn't mean that there aren't going to be any more arguments. It just means that you're not going to have that energy, that push, that force behind you that was making you do all of those things. So still avoid getting in conflicts with anybody because everyone is feeling this energy right now. So, be mindful of that. Also with physical activity, Mars is prone to accidents. So be careful, definitely mind what you're doing, like definitely pay attention, especially when you're playing sports or having fun or anything like that, because Mars is prone to accidents. So accidents are prone to happen. Nothing too crazy though. As long as you know how to navigate the energy, you should be fine. So next, let's move on to Jupiter. So like I said, Jupiter is going direct on September 12th. Normally, Jupiter is the great benefactor. Jupiter is all about optimism, abundance, good fortune, luck, expansion, all of those positive things that we like in our lives. Jupiter has been in the sign of Capricorn all year and will likely be in Capricorn for the rest of the year and into 2021. But since May, Jupiter has been retrograde. So just like with Mars, when Jupiter was retrograde, Jupiter was debilitated. So all of that great stuff that Jupiter normally does, it just didn't have the energy to do it. So Jupiter, along with Saturn, are both conjunct in your second house of money. And I'm sure that of all the signs, you guys are probably the most frustrated because your money house has been directly affected since late last year, all through 2020, and definitely into 2021. So what does that mean? So normally where, if you were experiencing a lot of good fortune, like literally like money coming your way, opportunities for money coming your way, since May, that has lessened because Jupiter just doesn't have the full energy, the full capacity to sprinkle those blessings on your life, particularly in your money house. But now that Jupiter is going direct on September 12th, Jupiter is now going to have that energy to bring you luck, bring you good fortune, bring you opportunities that are going to open doors for you to receive new streams of income or acquire wealth or have multiple streams of income. So look forward to that. It's not going to happen on September 12th though, I have to say. It's not like once a planet, on the day that a planet is stationed to go direct or even retrograde, it's not like that very day things are going to change like that. It takes time for the planet to actually turn course and go in another direction. And especially with Jupiter being such a huge, massive planet, the shadow period for Jupiter to actually be fully direct is like a week or so, if not longer. But still, be optimistic because better times are ahead. Moving on to Saturn. Saturn is also in your second house of money and material things. So Saturn is almost the opposite of Jupiter energy-wise, whereas Jupiter is all about positivity. It's all about abundance, good fortune, luck, all of that stuff. Saturn is about obstacles. It's about fear, doubt. It's about karma. It's about things taking a long time, delays, hard lessons. That's how Saturn is normally. Now, Saturn has also been retrograde in the sign of Capricorn since May. So the good news is that since May, at least up until the end of this month, Saturn hasn't really been able to wreak havoc the way that it normally would wherever it's placed. Sagittarius, for you, since it was placed in your money house, obstacles, difficulties, and delays with respect to getting new money, getting multiple income streams, improving your finances, that has been lessened. So that's good. The somewhat not good news is that once Saturn goes direct, Saturn is going to be like, all right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program and let's, make things difficult, give challenges and stuff like that. And Saturn, the whole point of Saturn is to help you grow and develop as a person. We can't have positivity all the time. We need negativity to balance things out. And that's exactly what's happening here. With Saturn conjunct Jupiter, they're both in the same space. Their energies are muddled together. And also throw Pluto in the mix, because Pluto is also conjunct both of these planets. So it's like a whole bunch of energy that's meant to change things in a very profound way. You've got a positive and you've got a negative, and you have like a catalyst all together. So there's profound change in your money house, not just now, Sagittarius, but into the future. So things will get better. Just hang in there. But for the time being, you're definitely going to feel these energy shifts, and things might be wonky for a little while. So moving on, let's talk about the sun. The sun, you know, when you talk about horoscopes, you have to talk about the sun, because we all look to our sun sign when we think of horoscopes and when we read horoscopes. So for you, Sagittarius, the sun is currently in your 10th house of career and public life. Your 10th house is Virgo, and that's where the sun is now. It's been there since the end of August, and the sun will remain there until September 23rd. So your focus is definitely on improving your career, getting ahead. If you have your own business, running your business, being successful, you know, the 10th house, I was going to say Capricorn, because Capricorn is indicative of the 10th house. But when it comes to your career, you're very methodical. You are very meticulous, diligent. You really put in the work. You're organized. You're of service to other people. So that's where your focus is from now until September 23rd. And this sort of goes in line with your second house, because your second house is trine your 10th house. So there is a direct connection between your second house and your 10th house. Obviously, there's a connection between your career and your money. All of these, this month, with this craziness that's happening in your second house with money, your focus is likely trying to improve your financial situation, perhaps even improve your career status or your public status in order to improve your finances. That's probably where your focus is directed the beginning, you know, in this Virgo season. But once September 23rd hits and we move into Libra season and the sun moves into Libra, your focus is going to shift to your 11th house. Your 11th house is all about friendships and goals. It's all about, you know, your friend circle, people that you network with, acquaintances, groups that you're a part of, how you identify as part of a larger group, and also goals, things, lofty things in your life that you want to achieve. 11th house is like those big pie in the sky dreams that you have. So by the end of the month and throughout most of October, you're going to be thinking about your goals. You're going to be thinking about who can you network with to achieve your goals? Who are my friends? Who should I not have as a friend? Those are the kind of concerns that you're going to be focused on come the end of this month. All right, so that's pretty much the astro breakdown for you, Sagittarius. Let's get into the tarot reading and see what messages Spirit has for you this month. All right, this is for Sagittarius for September 2020. Okay, we got one. Let's get two more. Perfect. All right. We've got never ending story, flexible, and peace. All right, Sag. So there is definitely something that you've been going round and round and round with. If you look closely at this card, you'll notice that this, is she a fairy or an angel? I don't know, whatever. But she's sitting on an hourglass, right? And if you remember what I said earlier about Saturn, Saturn is all about delays. Saturn is about things that take a lot of time. And I think there's something in your life that's taken a lot of time that you're just over it. You're just like, oh my gosh. I mean, look at, this says it all. You're just like, oh my gosh. Like, you're frustrated, you are tired, And if you notice within there, it's a little heart with like, it's almost like a clock, but it's shaped in a heart. And it says love, like yes, no, me, yes. Like you've been going round and round with someone or with something. It could be something that you love to do. And it's like a never-ending story. You can't quite get the result that you want. And you're just over it. But Spirit is saying, particularly this month, you need to be flexible. And this sort of goes back to what I was saying with the energy shifts. You need to be flexible because it's like this never-ending story. This frustration has not brought you peace. Whatever this is that you've been going round and round with, it hasn't been bringing you peace. But peace is coming. Peace of mind is coming. Things settling down is coming. And when I say settle down, look at this. With both of these cards, you've got this egg here. These eggs. There's something that you're trying to give birth to. There's something that's trying to be born. And it hasn't been able to up until now. And Spirit is saying be flexible. Because you're going to have the peace and you're going to have the peace of mind for whatever needs to be born to be born. Let's see what we have at the bottom of the deck. We have Observer. I feel like there's something that you need to look at. There's something that you need to pay attention to. Spirit is calling your attention to something this month. Interesting. Let's get some more cards out here and see what this is. Okay. We've got the Five of Cups. We've got the Nine of Cups. Yeah, something has definitely made you sad. This thing that you've been going round and round about with, it's like you almost regret doing it because you haven't gotten the result that you wanted. And it makes you sad. Like you're just like, what the hell? Like why did I even do this? And why have I been doing this for so long? Because it's gotten me nothing. It's gotten me nothing. But wishes do come true. Wishes really do come true. Your wishes are going to be fulfilled. Particularly with Jupiter going direct on the 12th, is going to play a major part in you getting what you want. Like I said, Jupiter retrograde wasn't able to sprinkle those blessings where you needed Jupiter or where you wanted Jupiter to spread those blessings or wherever Jupiter is in your chart. It's not like you just get whatever you want. Wherever Jupiter is in your chart, Jupiter has not been able to rain blessings on that part of your life. With Jupiter now going direct, I feel like that is going to be instrumental in you getting what it is that you want. And I really do think it has to do with finances or it has to do with money. I see this egg here and I'm hearing nest egg. So some of you may be trying to build up your savings, perhaps to buy something really big like a house or a condo or something like that. And you just haven't been able to. And it's like a never ending story. It's almost like every time you go to save money, you have an expense. Someone needs help, something happens, something breaks down and you're not able to save the way you want to. And I feel like Spirit is asking you, don't be so rigid. If you loosen up a bit, especially with Jupiter going direct, I feel like you're going to be able to build that nest egg you've been trying to build. Let's get another card out here. Okay, we've got Death. Nothing to fear here. Death is just about transformation, like permanent transformation, but transformation nonetheless. I feel like there could be a Scorpio involved here, or it's just like this, like I said, it's this never-ending story, right? And with the Death card, it's like this story is now going to end. This round and round you've been going through is now going to end, and you're going to get to a result nonetheless. I feel like going in circles hasn't gotten you a result either way. I feel like a result is coming. A definitive result is coming. We've got the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. Y'all haven't been able, your money hasn't been right. Your money hasn't been up to par. Your money hasn't been where you want it to be. I feel like some of you feel like you've been spinning your wheels and nothing has happened. Some of you feel like you've been working extra hard. Remember I said you guys have the sun in your 10th house of career. So y'all may be really putting in that work. Y'all really may be doing whatever needs to be done in order to secure the bag, in order to get more money, and it's just not happening. Remember I said be flexible. Virgo is your 10th house. Your 10th house of career is Virgo. Virgo is very much detail oriented, to the point where a lot of times Virgo cannot see the forest for the trees. You don't see the big picture because you're constantly in the day-to-day minutia of whatever it is that you're doing. If you look at this card, look at all these gears. That's how you've been working. It's like you've been working tirelessly and you feel like you've been going around in circles, and some of you may have been losing money. It's not even like you've been gaining money and it's not going anywhere, or you're not able to save as much as you would like. A lot of you are actually losing money, in fact. And I know how infuriating that can be. And you're just like, why am I even doing this? Especially when it comes to your career or whatever work you've been doing in order to get money in your bank account. You're like, why have I even been doing this? You've probably been doing it for a while. You're good at it. You're a great worker, but you're just not seeing the financial results that you want to. That's that feeling that you're in right now. And we've got the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups speaks to not paying attention and missing an opportunity. So like I was saying before, your 10th house is all about career, right? And it's the sign of Virgo. Virgo is so caught up in the details, in the minutia, that there's an opportunity that you may be missing. That's why you need to be flexible, especially this month in September. Be flexible. I think that you need to take a step back and look at things from a broader perspective. Instead of focusing on the little work that you're doing, and by little, I don't mean that your efforts are little or what you're doing is meaningless. I mean, it's just what's right in front of you. Instead of focusing on what's right in front of you, look at the bigger picture and craft an overall strategy. Don't think that effort put in equals money coming out. It's a lot more than that. And that's what Spirit wants you to see this month. Let's get one other card out here. That's too many. Oh, okay. The Two of Swords. Exactly what I was just saying. You being so rigid and you being so, it's got to be done this way. Got to do X, Y, and Z. This detail, that detail. Put this here. This comes out. All of that is what's blocking you from getting your money up, honestly. And it's what's blocking this change. Don't get me wrong. Again, you guys are doing really good work. Like, you guys are doing really good work. I feel like it might just be misdirected. Or it's just not taking your... Again, there's some sort of opportunity that you could be taking advantage of that you're not. And by taking advantage of whatever opportunity this is, that is when you're going to start to see the results that you're after. But you've got to be flexible. Yeah, I feel like some of you are really in your feelings about this too. And like being so downtrodden and being in your feelings about it is also contributing to this lack of movement. Like you're really down on yourself, or just feeling like having sort of a lack mentality. Like, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. If I'm not able to save this money, I'm not going to have this house. And I'm not going to have a roof over my head. I'm not going to have food on the table. Please stop that. Y'all are good. You just have to strategize a new plan of action. That's not so rigid. Let's see what's at the bottom of this deck. Interesting. We've got adjustment. And this is the Justice card in the regular Rider-Waite Tarot, but this is exactly what this, I'm like tongue-tied because I'm like trying to get this message out. Adjustment. That's exactly what you need to do right now. You need to adjust your plans. You need to balance the scales. The scales are uneven. Like I said, there's something that you need to take advantage of that's going to balance those scales that you're not taking advantage of at the moment. So you need to adjust, re-strategize, recalibrate whatever it is that you're doing, and then execute. But let's get some more cards out here and get like deeper into this message. Let's get one on Five of Cups. We've got courtship. Some of you are regretting that you entertained a particular idea. I feel like this is something, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. I'm not sure if this is going to apply to a lot of people, but this is the example that I'm being shown. So everything is all over the place in the economy, right? So a lot of people, you know, they're pushing entrepreneurship really hard. If you look on IG, every other person is an entrepreneur. Everyone's selling a course on entrepreneurship. You know the deal. And I feel like in the wake of all of that, for some of you, I feel like, okay, whoa. Yeah, all right. For some of you, I feel like the pandemic really affected your career in the sense that what you were doing, you weren't really able to do anymore. Like, let's say you were a musician. You can't do live performances anymore because, you know, you can't have concerts and stuff like that. So you needed to find alternate sources of income. So I feel like a lot of you may have been entertaining things like Forex, day trading, real estate. Like, these may not be things that you used to do on a regular basis for work, but because of the way things are set up right now, you're like, yo, let me take advantage of this. I see people on IG making money off of this. They seem to be doing well. Let me do it. You did that. You're actually putting in the work and you're not seeing the results. And you're like, yo, why did I entertain that? Like, I'm not a Forex person. I'm not into this multi-level marketing. I'm not into this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I regret having even, you know, there's money that you spent obviously on a course maybe or on materials or whatever. And you're just like, why did I even entertain this idea? I feel like that's where quite a few of you are at. One on the Nine of Cups. There we go. All right, we've got family room. Family room is all about what you keep private. And I feel like these money goals that you have, you hold them close to your chest, meaning that you're not letting people know, obviously, how much money you're trying to spend, or, I mean, how much money you're trying to save, excuse me. Or I feel like a lot of you, like, you haven't made it known that you're looking for a house, you're looking to buy a house, you're looking to buy a car. Whatever your end goal is for your money, you haven't let people know that. It's very close to you. You hold it close to your chest. From the outside looking in, people just see you working diligently and just trying to get your money up, but they don't know why you're trying to get your money up or for what you're trying to get your money up. All right, let's get one on this death card. Ooh. Privileged lady. Remember, death, although it means ending, it also means transformation. Again, if you listen to spirit and you remain flexible this month, oh, my nose is like itching like crazy. If you listen to spirit and remain flexible this month, you will secure the bag. The privileged lady is like, in this deck, it's like the wealthy man. It's like the 10 of Pentacles. That is coming your way. And again, like I said, you've got all of this wonky energy in your second house of finances and material goods. So it's going to take a while for all of that energy to clear out and to leave you with the gift of material wealth. That is definitely assured for you. It's going to take some time, but you're working towards that. And again, I can't stress this enough. You have to remain flexible. Stop being so rigid. Let's get one on the Five of Pentacles. We've got the main man. I feel like this is you, Sagittarius. I feel like this is you plodding away, working, but you're feeling lack. You're stuck in a lack mentality. This never-ending story, that's your mind playing this lack mentality on loop. Please stop doing that. Please. Keep a positive outlook, because wealth is assured for you. Trust and believe that it's assured for you. Just don't get caught up in the, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that, or whatever. And then 4 of Cups, we've got the main female. So we've got a pair here. Yeah, I feel like this represents both sides of you. And I feel like on the outside, you are just downtrodden, right? You feel broke. You feel broken, maybe. And on the inside, you feel like your emotions are just despondent. Like you're just like, ugh. With all of, again, you entertained a particular avenue, right? There are other avenues out there that could be lucrative for you, but because you're so in your feelings and because you're just like, this isn't working, I'm not going to have what I want, you might miss an opportunity. It might come in the form of Forex. It might come in the form of real estate. It might come in the form of selling lashes on the internet, but you're never going to know that if you were stuck in this feeling, in this mentality. If you're stuck in saying, you know what, I committed to this one thing and I've got to see it through. Maybe you don't. If you see it's not working, maybe it's time to drop it and pick up something else. Maybe that's what this flexibility is all about. Let's get 1 on 2 of Swords. There we go. Expectation. I feel like you expect things to not work. You really do, but change is coming. Look at this. And at the bottom of this deck, we've got sudden wealth. What did I tell you? Wealth is assured. Stop being so down on yourself. If whatever you're doing isn't working, it's time to pick up something else. Don't be afraid to be flexible. Don't be able to drop what's not working for you. Let's get 3 astrology cards. All right, we've got Mars. Like I said, Mars is about to go retrograde in your 5th house of self-expression, creativity, and children. There might be, Mars is all about passion. I'm sorry. Your 5th house is all about passion, things that you love to do. Now that Mars is about to go retrograde, now is a great time to think about the things that you actually like doing and craft a strategy to make money based off that. Maybe this Forex and lashes and all this other shit that's out there is not for you. Maybe you really need to focus your energy on passion and creative projects. Creative projects really may be big for you, Sagittarius, in order to secure the bag. Look at this. 5th house, which is exactly what I'm talking about. Spirit is like shouting at me right now. My goodness, like blaring in my ear. Do what you love to do, Sagittarius. That's it. Create. Create and make money from your creations. That's it. That's it. Create. Stop entertaining all of this other stuff that may work for other people but's not working for you. Because you're not passionate about it. And if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to want to do it the way that it needs to be done. You're not going to have that energy, right, to do it. So do what you love doing. Let's get 1 more to close out this reading. Conjunction. Again, this great conjunction that's going on between Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in your 2nd house of money and material goods is going to change your life forever. Your financial status, when all is said and done, your financial status is really going to be elevated. But you're going to have to go through some difficulties in order to get there. But as I was saying, Sagittarius, this month, be flexible. Follow your heart. Figure out what it is what you want to do and do it. And I guarantee you're going to see some progress in the right direction. All right, Sag, that has been your reading for September 2020. I hope that this reading was beneficial to you and you were able to get at least one message from it. If you'd like to book a personal tarot reading or order an astrology report from me, those links are in the description box below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead where I just do a quick and dirty tarot read on the upcoming energies for that week. I also have a lot of really nice content on there too. So definitely hit me up on IG and follow me there. Everything I do, these tarot readings, astrology reports, all of that stuff, I do it from the bottom of my heart, and it's always a labor of love and a pleasure for me. So if you feel inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, that link is in the description box as well. Sagittarius, it's a pleasure and a privilege to read for you. Thank you for watching my video. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next video.